Today's mission is to get to know the importance of dynamic range of a picture. Flickering through the Insta feed, you'll find a lot of images posted just the way they were shot or with some quick filter added onto it. If you take control of dynamics, I promise you will make a big leap forward as a photographer. And this will also be an important part of finding your tone of voice. Is it going to be soft, hard, natural, artificial, rough, or subtle? Most pictures on this planet are just too dark. Most pictures will improve by making a slightly lighter editing. By doing this, you will widen the dynamics of the picture. The light will become lighter and the dark parts will look darker. This creates the contrast, which is candy for the eye. The human eye reacts on contrasts, so if you want to get more attention, make sure your images has the right contrast and the right dynamics. Still, I'm not talking about color. I'm referring to the image as different tones from high, middle, and dark tones. As a basic rule, I would say, let there be some sort of high contrast, meaning light and dark contrast within the motive of your image. This is for the eye to hook onto. Of course, this won't apply to all images. Every post-production step must address the same basic question: what will make this message come through even stronger? Before editing images on your mobile, make sure you have turned your screen brightness to the max. This is a habit that will give your editing a consistency. So let's have a look at the Instagram edit functions for the picture dynamics. First of all, you got to adjust the exposure to the point where you feel that you get the most out of your motive. Is it contrast? Is it structures? Is it shadows? Is it in the highlights? You have to find some sort of a point of compromise. And secondly, are the white objects within the image really white? Adjust the highlight so that any white object within the motive looks clean white. Don't overdo it. Just make sure there's some reflection or highlight within the object that becomes totally white so it looks clean. So I say, keep it juicy with a rich number of dark tones and a few high tones to create this nice contrast. Another option could be to purposely white out the high tones and darken the dark tones to make the image look more clean and simplified. So this work is like having a non-verbal conversation with yourself. Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Check the different features within the editing tool of Instagram. The structure, contrast, sharpness tools to find just the right expression, which is going to be your tonal voice. But like adding spice to a dish, if the food tastes like one specific spice, you might have used just too much of it. If it blends in nicely, you got it right. So use the different tools carefully. No matter if your image is dark or bright, try to keep the variations in tone that make your picture look interesting. If you want to enhance the dark, threatening sky, you might want to show the different dark tones in the clouds and maybe add a little bit of a highlight, not to make everything too dark. Saving an image as a draft in Instagram is a great idea, because you might even edit the same picture twice and save both of them. And when you go to draft administration, you can compare the two different edits and then continue editing afterwards. In the end, all these tiny choices while editing becomes a part of your voice as a photographer. And you see all the different ways of doing it out there. My way of editing is like high contrast, focusing on a brilliant, clean white tone. I like the sharp color and a color balance, which is moving slightly towards the cold side. It's not very natural looking, yet still not extremely artificial. And you just need to make up your own mind. So the assignment this time is to edit an image to get the most out of the existing tones as possible. If you want, you could even try to edit one picture 2 or 3 different times in a color version and one black and white version. Flick through them in the draft admin section and see which one that makes the motive and the message come through. You're moving fast forward, you're developing your tone of voice. Well, that's it for now. Next up will be location scouting.